let these guys talk amongst themselves. Maybe some of you finding that insufferable. This is a company called Boston Scientific. I make medical devices. Yeah, fucking Sega won't go down. Tell me about it. Sega life. You know, sometimes you get into a battle with shorts, you gotta be patient. Same thing with MSI, just gotta be patient. It's not going anywhere. You always want your stocks and your investments to go up all the time, but that's just not how it works, you know? Sometimes they'll go down. And you just have to be patient. And not get sort of like force yourself to sell when you don't want to sell the worst possible price. There's a lot of little adjustments you have to make. This always annoys me. These tables get cut off. It's because of HTML presentation and stuff. VSX is this ticker. I'm not allowed to leave my apartment, so. My sister's apartment, technically. You think Ether is going to outperform Bitcoin? You know what they say about opinions. What's up, All Studio Zen? something like that, Mikhail. Hello? Skrelly 87850-053. Yep. Yeah, finance is pretty boring. Programming's pretty boring. It's all pretty boring. You want thrills, chills, and spills, you know. I don't know what you can do, but don't do what I do. This life isn't for everybody. Want me to play Fortnite or something? Oops. Fortnite, Minecraft, what do you guys want to hear? What do you guys want to see? Rocket League? So the SEC won't let me be. Let me be me, so let me see. Cash money.
I am Eleni Naud, chairing the plenary session of Alexander Kuznetsov. Alexander Kuznetsov's foundational work on derived categories of coherent shifts led to a homological approach to classical algebraic geometry and to a new geometric inside linking Fano varieties to Calabi-Yau geometry. Sasha, as he likes to be called, works at the Steklov Institute of Mathematics in Moscow. He gives now from Copenhagen his ICM 2022 plenary address with the title Homological Algebraic Geometry. I am particularly glad to chair this session. We all admire Sasha's mathematics, his kindness, and his civic courage. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Helen, for your introduction. It's a great pleasure to be here and to speak at the ICM. And also, I would like to thank all my collaborators and friends without whom this work would not be possible. Okay, so I will speak today about homological algebraic geometry, and since this name is not generally used, so let me first give a hint how do I understand this. So first of all, let me remind that algebraic geometry itself can be considered as a very nice fusion of geometry and algebra. Geometry gives us intuition and a way of thinking about objects that we investigate, and algebra provides us with a machinery for proving theorems. So in some sense, commutative algebra is a local analysis for algebraic geometry. And in a similar way, homological algebraic geometry is a fusion of algebraic geometry with homological algebra. So we get many methods and tools from homological algebra which help us to study algebraic geometry. Okay, and the main object of homological algebraic geometry is the derived category of coherent sheaves on a given algebraic variety. And many constructions and objects of homological algebraic geometry, in many cases, they come with different nicknames, such as categorical, derived, non-commutative, and many others. And we will see some of these names today. So let me also try to explain why do we study homological algebraic geometry and why it is useful and interesting to study it. So there are many reasons, but let me just say about two of them. So first of all, homological algebraic geometry provides us with many new interesting non-commutative varieties, which have fascinating properties quite unusual for the classical geometry. And at the same time, they are very relevant for geometric questions, and typically they are geometrically meaningful. And also, many classical results become much more straightforward and better behaved when we look.
So you guys want to see something more interesting, I'm guessing.
Insurance is not liable for any injuries you incur while using No Sweat Insurance branded party swag. This includes ice cream slip and falls, hot dog sand, umbrella impalements, beach ball concussions, and firework oopsies. No Sweat customers can find a full list of coverage exemptions on pages 83 to 145 of their policy. Have a sweat-free day.
is, but here we go. Oh, fishing rod and triple L. Kill, 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 kill. Now, the 3 arrows, guys, was obviously a joke. Protect yourself at all times. There's the rival. Shit. Bad luck, huh? Thanks, Kayleen. Should have gotten out of dodge, right? Radical feminist. I'm reading books. I am still short Sega. fast. I'm gonna run some people over. What are these, like, mushroom thingies? Anybody know? Shields?
Can't wait till I see you again. I've been living my life by the quarter a mile. I remember how it was at the start. I would never stop till I made you smile. And now that it's not my job, I'm trying to stay away, but I ain't my style. I thought we'd have got to the end. Coil rain, no new friend. New things, I've been in the booth and I don't mean to flex. Sounds all mad at the end of the
Dang. Heard him coming. You guys like acid? You guys like acid? Yeah, I think I'll pass on more Fortnite. This was fun though. Albums out. Albums coming out soon. I got my first song coming out. Autodesk was founded in 1982. I was -1 years old. I haven't looked at GameStop too closely. It looks fine. Yeah, I like MSI. That's my new company. Or whatever, drug-like. Looking at Autodesk right now. Okay. This is the CAD CAM company, right? $4 billion revenue. Favorite philosopher? Good question. I never studied philosophy too much. I guess David Hume. Hume would be it. There's so much to learn in philosophy. I like modern philosophers too, like Nick Bostrom, Searle, people like that. I don't know. Always like Kurzweil. Again, not traditional philosophy at all here. Not talking about like Kierkegaard or Kant or Descartes. Popper, I guess, would be another one. 2 a.m. Shit. Autodesk's growing by a lot. It's like a very mature business. It's supposed to be a very mature business. Let's see. Architecture. AutoCAD. Manufacturing. Media and entertainment. I haven't seen any good movies. I don't have the time to watch film. Okay. It's interesting how their geographical distribution is pretty global. Direct and indirect. play Leona in League. Support. You guys want me to play League of Legends? I kind of want to do some work. I mean, I think the alpha male thing has been around a while. I mean, women like alpha males, you know. Haven't looked at fibro in a while. Good question. Bed Bath & Beyond? I don't really know retail that well. Oh, these guys have a rabbi trust? Need that rabbi trust. Why is the market up? I don't know. Who knows? This kind of stuff is hard to understand. I got a little rest a while back. Autodesk is changing how the world is designed and made. Our technology spans architecture, engineering, construction, product design, manufacturing, media, and entertainment, empowering innovators everywhere to solve challenges big and small, from greener buildings to smarter products to more mesmerizing blockbusters. Autodesk technology helps our customers to design and make a better world for all. Do I ever do online ads for companies? I haven't really done much or many of that, but I certainly, I don't know, Anna Kendrick does endorsements. I do endorsements. I don't know if the market will go down soon or up soon or anything. It's pretty hard to predict that kind of stuff. It's just a guess, you know. Autodesk technology helps our customers to design and make a better world for all. Our strategy is to build enduring relationships with customers, delivering innovative technology that provides valuable automation and insight into their design and make processes. To drive execution of our strategy, we're focused on 3 strategic priorities: deliver a world-class customer experience, catalyze customers' digital transformation, and establish an industry-leading platform for design and make. We equip and inspire our users with the tailored tool services and access they need for success today and tomorrow. At every step, we help users harness the power of data to build upon their ideas, explore new ways of imagining, collaborating, and creating to achieve better outcomes for the customers, society, and for the world. Wow. Because creativity can't flourish in silos, we connect what matters, from steps in a project to collaborators on a unified platform. Autodesk was founded during the platform transition from mainframe computers and engineering workstations to personal computers. We have developed and sustained a compelling value proposition based on software for the personal computer. Just as the transition from mainframes to personal computers transformed the hardware industry, the software industry has undergone a transition from developing to selling perpetual licenses and on-prem products to subscriptions and cloud-enabled technologies. We offer subs for individual products and industry collections, enterprise business agreements, and cloud service offerings, collectively referred to as subscription plans. Subscription plans are designed to give our customers more flexibility with how they use our offerings and to attract a broader range of customers, such as project-based users and small businesses. Okay. Our subscription plans currently represent a hybrid of desktop software and cloud functionality, which provides a device-independent collaborative design workflow for designers and stakeholders. Our cloud offerings, for example, BIM 360. Let's try BIM 360. What is that? This is for construction. Cool.
A construction team's ability to deliver projects on time and under budget hinges on resolving issues before breaking ground. Every year, clashes in the field can cost tens of thousands of dollars each, adding up to 5% of the total construction budget. With With advanced digital automation capabilities, design and coordination teams can improve the process of producing quality constructible models and designs. Introducing Autodesk BIM Collaborate, a cloud-based model coordination and design collaboration solution, part of the Autodesk Construction Cloud Unified Platform. Leveraging a common data environment, Autodesk BIM Collaborate empowers BIM managers, design leads, and trades to take part in the design and model coordination process together to resolve issues at the same time in the same place. Improve cross-team accountability by tracking project deliverables with an environment that details the who, the what, and the when. Aggregate multidisciplinary models seamlessly in one space to facilitate design review and clash detection. With automatic clash testing, design and trade teams can self-check their work, protecting against non-recoverable rework costs. Accelerate time to site through round-trip issues management. Resolve issues created in the cloud directly in Revit and Navisworks. When issues arise, use the Autodesk Construction Cloud to streamline meetings by setting an agenda with issue details, referenced models, and assign.
I guess I'm not really clear on how BIM is different. I guess BIM is construction, I guess. I don't know. What's Fusion 360? Oh, this is the engineering. Pretty cool. $500 a year. That's not bad. I should get this and not ever use it. I mean, I'm not even sure what the fuck this is. What any of these tools are.
In the past, simulation software was so costly and difficult to use that only specialized analysts had the know-how to navigate the minutiae. That's not the case anymore. Now, anyone using Fusion 360 has access to the same powerful but simple to use finite element analysis tools at a fraction of the price. With access to these capabilities, designers will gain crucial insights into the performance of their designs early in the process, helping ensure the right design decisions are made at every turn. The integrated simulation workspace ensures seamless handoffs to and from the design and provides a laundry list of simulation types. This allows users the ability to test for a wide variety of situations, whether that be static loads, thermal loads, pressure, or impacts. Fusion
Okay, shop grid. Project management for what? Film, TV, and games. Not a big product for them, I'm guessing. Damn, AutoCAD's $2,000. I need 100 tokens.
What if you could build a better world? A world that was efficient, smart, and sustainable. A world where no obstacle is too big, no idea is too complicated, and no dream is unattainable. Unleash your mind on endless possibilities, free to conceptualize, design, and forge ahead. Solutions that open up 1,000 more possibilities that combine technology, converge fields, and unlock innovation to reimagine the world as we know it today. The AutoCAD family of products empowers your design, your vision, your world to come to life. Make your ideas feasible, makeable, doable. Harness automation to do more and do it better. Remodel and merge to solve problems. Turn your imagination into designs, your designs into drawings. Do it whenever, wherever you are. Power and transform your world in new ways with ever-evolving integrations. Armed with the right tools and flexibility in the AutoCAD family of products, you have the ability to design for the problems of today and the possibilities of tomorrow. You're not just a thinker, you're a doer. So the next time you imagine a better world, make it instead. Make, create, do, build what's on your mind. With the AutoCAD family of products by Autodesk.
All right. No, I've never met those guys. Tech Data and Ingram Micro are interesting, big customers. Resellers. The memes are within me. I am one with the meme. You must channel the meme within. It's always been within you, Sigma. Simba. Sigma? Simba? Same thing. Drug Dealers Anonymous. Is that the vibe? Is that the vibe you want? $26.29. Meme gene activated. Expression level high. Years. I'm ex-con doing side quests. I like that. I'm gonna put that on one of my raps. You bitch is my side quest, something like that. I don't know. So the SEC won't let me be. Let me be me, so let me see. Huh. One of my monitors just went out for no reason, but it's back. AutoCAD's one of the oldest computer software programs. It's legendary. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. What's up, Mo? $144 viewers. Welcome, everybody. Hope I can entertain and educate, and I don't know what else. Other things.
You will see that this canvas here doesn't stretch to fill the screen vertically anymore. This bothers me, but it's great because we can fix both of these issues by moving this piece of code from here. When you resize the canvas in this way, it means that it also becomes cleared. So if I refresh now and press the down key, the car is actually seemingly moving, and it doesn't leave that trail anymore. Also, if I resize this console here, it looks proper. You might have to click on the screen here before you can press the top and down arrows. Sometimes these listeners don't activate unless you click inside the page. Okay, problem now is that this doesn't move like a car at all. We need to work on this. Cars don't move so that you press on something and then immediately stop. I'm going to go to the car constructor here and give the car a speed attribute and an acceleration value like this. And here, instead of changing the Y value on forward, we are going to say that the speed will increase by the acceleration like this. And I'm going to copy this here below, but with minus. And here I will say this.y minus equals this.speed. I save the file, refresh the page, I press down, I press up. Whee! Okay, we need to stop the car from going too fast and implement some friction. So I'm going to go here and say max speed equals to something like 3. And the friction of, let's say, 0.2 type of functions work in JavaScript. And it's convenient to have. we're not using any libraries, it doesn't really matter. If you want to learn these in a more useful language like Python, then come study at Karelia University of Applied Sciences. There I teach this same thing in Python as well, and we also study machine learning libraries and even use hardware components. But now start your engines, because the course is about to start. I'll first teach you how to implement the car driving mechanics. You learn to make a car that moves like this. It's not really that hard, you'll see. I'll refresh your memory with some basic physics and trigonometry, and you'll be able to code this in no time. We begin with this simple project setup. We
could play some chess. Fuck, I always lose to Lekian. Always, like every time. I cannot beat a Lekian. It's like my one weakness. Down goes the D pawn. Fucking ridiculous, right? Down 2 pawns. GG. I should probably learn some opening theory at some point. Shit. Oh, hung. Bishop e3 best here. It's the 4 pawns attack. Bishop e3, I'll try to remember that. Whoa, out of order. Move is out of order. Any way to take advantage? C4 maybe? Okay.
We have 3 files right here: index.html, main.js, and style CSS, and they're all empty for now. And
Okay. As expected. Don't want to weaken the light squares here, but no, I guess we do have a choice. Break on through to the other side. Break on through. Claro. Claro. Sí. Dime. Oh, fuck. I got fucked. Back ranked. Too distracted. He's a pretty strong player too. Recommended puzzle training. French defense advanced variation. Oh, thanks a lot. So here, after knight f3, I have to take. That's the traditional thing. Knight f3 immediately is seen to be a mistake instead of c3, I guess. Again, I gotta take. Knight takes e5 is the tactic here. Because you defend d7. Big mistake, c4. I knew there was something afoot, I just didn't know what. Bishop e8. Okay. Rook a7. We really have to protect f7, I guess. It did end up doing me in. Alright, so this is a massive blunder, I guess. And I didn't take? Oh man. Rest in peace. Oh. It did end up winning d4. Just took a while. Okay, so I finally saw it this time. It has it as game over. I guess there's a back rank tactic here with bishop c6. This was good enough, apparently. Ooh. I don't see this. Oh, because the knight's pinned. Derp. Now check. Mate in 3. Oh. I was winning, man. I was too comfortable. What a mess. What a mess. Last move for black. Okay. Oh, easy, easy, very easy. Easy breezy, clever girl. Best move for black. Well, I don't know. Kind of want to play rook down here. Okay, that was easy. I guess the queen Is the queen trapped? Yeah, the queen's trapped. That's why. Alright, let's move for black. We got a mate threat here. Right. We can just pass pawn. Does that work? Cool. Alright. Maybe enough of this.
And I'm using Visual Studio Code to write this. And on the right, I have Google Chrome, and you need to have the developer tools open there. It's really important. So if you plan to follow along, have a similar setup. You can use another editor if you want, but I recommend this Visual Studio Code nowadays. Let's begin with basic HTML. In the head, I'm going to write a title for this, and it's gonna be self-driving car, no libraries. Really, everything here is gonna be just written by us. I'm linking now the style sheet, and let me close the head, and in the body I'm going to define a canvas. We are mostly gonna use this canvas in this project. Here I'm also linking the JavaScript file like this. And we are done with the HTML for the moment, at least.
Bailey.
You refresh the page and not much happens really. It says here self-driving car, no libraries in the tab of the browser, but nothing appears in the page itself, apparently. If you open these elements, you will see that the canvas is actually there. It's just transparent. And the body actually has this orange small margin there. I want to get rid of that margin and also make this canvas visible somehow. So let's go to this style CSS next and write some styles. I will remove the margin for the body, and let's make the body have a dark gray background, overflow to hidden, and I'm gonna use text align to center for now. Overflow is important, otherwise we might get a scroll bar coming if the canvas is too big, and I don't want that. And I want everything to align to center in the middle of the page. Now my canvas should have a different colored background. Maybe we set it to light gray like this, and save, refresh. And now you can actually see the canvas without needing to inspect these elements right here. I'm gonna move back to the console. It's probably the most important thing in the developer tools. I want my canvas to stretch the full screen vertically. So I'm gonna go in main.js right here, and I'm going to get a reference to our canvas with ID my canvas we defined previously, and I'm gonna set the height of this to be the full window inner height like this, and the width is going to be just 200 pixels. It will be like a road going upwards. We'll need the space on the side to draw the neural network later. Now if I save this and refresh, you can see it appearing there exactly how we want it. Let's next pretend that we have a car and we want to draw it on the canvas. To draw on the canvas, we first need to get the drawing context. We will just use the 2D context in this whole project. So I'm gonna have a reference to this canvas context right here in this CTX. And it's gonna contain all the methods we need to draw the things that we need to draw in this project. And if we would have a car, we would say something like this. Let's get a car at, for example, 100x, 100y, and the car maybe has a 30 width and 50 height. All of these are in pixels. And let's draw the car using this context. But we don't have the car yet. This is the thing that we are going to need to define next, the car object. And we are going to do this first by going inside of index.html here and preparing to import a new file, car.js, like this. And now I'm going to add a new file here, car.js. In here, I'm going to say class car. So we are defining our car class, and the constructor for this class is going to have 4 different parameters. So we have here the x and the y, and a width and a height. So these are properties of the car, where we want it to be and how big should the car be. And we are going to store these as attributes inside of the object, like this, so that the car remembers where it is and how big it is. Now, remember we also had this draw being called, so that draw was a method, and it looks something like this. It gets a context as a parameter, and in here we begin path, and we are going to draw a car as a simple rectangle for now. The rectangle is going to start at an x and y location, so I'm going to use this dot x minus this dot width divided by 2. So the x of the car is going to be the center inside the car, and it's going to have parts in front, behind, left and right, so on the top, bottom, left and right. The y value, I subtract half the height. So here we also need to specify what is the width and height of this rectangle, like this, and ask the context to fill it, like so. And if I'm going to save this and refresh the page, you can see the car there, or at least a black rectangle for now. The car is here at 100, 100. So on computer screens, the y-axis actually goes downwards, and the 0, 0 point relative to this canvas is actually right up here. Now this is really boring as such. I'm gonna teach you next how to move the car using the keyboard arrow keys. So for now, let's just pretend that we have here some controls, like this controls is equal to new controls, and let me link a new file here in index controls.js, and also create controls.js, and we will do a similar thing as previously. So we need a class for these controls and a constructor. The controls object will have 4 different attributes. One of it will know if it's going forward, one of it for the left, one of it for the right, and one for the reverse, like this. And I set them to false initially, but these will change depending on what you press on the keyboard. So I'm next going to define a method for adding so-called keyboard listeners, so that we have a piece of code that checks whenever we press a key or release a key. So I'm going to call here add keyboard listeners, and this is going to be a method inside of the controls class, like so. The reason I put here this hashtag in front is because this is a private method. You can't access this from outside of this controls class. And you shouldn't, it's its own responsibility. So how does this add keyboard listeners look like? Well, we will add a key down event to the document and set this to be equal to this arrow function. I will explain arrow functions in just a second, but let's implement this first. So depending on the key that was pressed, if this was the arrow left key, we are gonna set this left to true and break, and do the same thing for the arrow right key, like this, the arrow up key for forward, and the arrow down key for reverse, and that's it. But we also need to know when we release a key. So I'm going to actually copy this code here, like so, and this is going to be on key up, and all of these things are going to be set to false. I want to debug if all of this code that we wrote works. So I'm going to put here a console table. This.
I never use
I'm going to
console.table.
output this entire object
Obviously,
into the
use
console
console.log about a
in a
zillion
table
times.
format.
Console.tables
When I press a key and when I release
new
a
to
key,
me.
I save the file, refresh, and every time you press something, like now I'm pressing the up key, now I released the up key, now I'm pressing the down key, I released the down key, left and right, you can see the values in the console have changed. So this code seems to be working. Great, but why is it working? So let's look a little bit up here, and this part of the code may be a little strange to you if you're not familiar with this arrow function notation. This is actually the same thing as writing here function of event like this. So we say that on key down, this is the function that you are going to call. But if you write it like this here stops referring to the object here, to the controls object. It actually refers to this function right here. And if I undo and use this arrow function notation, this continues to refer to this object right here. So it's a difference in how these two types of functions work in JavaScript. And it's convenient to have it in this way. Now controls are triggering, but let's move the car with them. So I'm gonna go to car.js and we are gonna write here an update method. This update method is going to check if the controls say forward, let's just move the car upward. So that means y minus equals 2. Remember that y increases downwards on a computer. And if these controls are reverse, then we add 2 to y so that it goes downwards. Now this won't do anything just yet. We need to go to main.js here and start to animate. So I'm going to write here animate and define an animate function like this. And inside here I'm gonna update the car, and then I'm going to draw the car using this code we had previously, like this, and call request animation frame with animate, like so. Request animation frame calls the animate method again and again, many times per second. It gives the illusion of movement that we want. Now we can save the file, refresh the page, and when I press down, something happens. So the car updates and redraws itself, but all the past positions of the car are still there. And if I press up now, takes a while, but then it reaches again the top part and you start seeing it again. But it leaves this black trail there. So we need to fix this. And actually we need to fix something else as well. If I'm gonna resize this console here, you will see that this canvas here doesn't stretch to fill the screen vertically anymore. This bothers me, but it's great because we can fix both of these issues by moving this piece of code from here. When you resize the canvas in this way, it means that it also becomes cleared. So if I refresh now and press the down key, the car is actually seemingly moving and it doesn't leave that trail anymore. Also, if I resize this console here, it looks proper. You might have to click on the screen here before you can press the top and down arrows. Sometimes these listeners don't activate unless you click inside the page. Okay, problem now is that this doesn't move like a car at all. We need to work on this. Cars don't move so that you press on something and then immediately stop. I'm going to go to the car constructor here and give the car a speed attribute and an acceleration value like this. And here, instead of changing the y value on forward, we are going to say that the speed will increase by the acceleration like this. And I'm going to copy this here below, but with minus. And here I will say this.y minus equals this.speed. I save the file, refresh the page, I press down, I press up. Whee! Okay, we need to stop the car from going too fast and implement some friction. So I'm going to go here and say max speed equals to something like 3 and a friction of, let's say, 0.05 like this. And in the update method, I'm going to move here and say if the speed is more than this max speed, this speed becomes max speed. We are capping it. The same if the speed is less than minus this max speed, but in reverse I want the car to be not as fast. I'm just gonna divide by 2 here. If it's less than this, then I'm gonna cap it to be minus max speed divided by 2. Maybe you want to have a max reverse speed or something declared on top. Feel free to do it. I think it's overkill. Also, there's no such thing as a negative speed like what we have here. The negative sign is just to indicate that the car is going backwards. Luckily, this is not a course on physics. Otherwise, I might get in trouble for this. Next thing we do is check if the speed is greater than 0, I will decrease it by the friction, like this. And if the speed is less than 0, then speed increases by the friction, like this. Now I save the file, refresh the page, press down, and the car is moving. I released and it slowed down a bit and then it stopped. I'm pressing now up and I release. You can see it's still moving a little bit before it stops. And I think that this feels quite okay, but at the moment the car is only going forward and backward and the left and right don't do anything. One small issue though, let me see if I can get it to happen. Okay, if you release in just the right way, you will see this. Let me zoom in a little bit more. See, the car is actually always moving. It's constantly moving, no matter if we press a key or not. Actually, if we don't press any key. And it's moving by a very, very, very small value. And that's because if the speed is not equal to 0 exactly, then this friction is going to bounce it around and eventually it's going to move it forward.
Look at them from the perspective of category theory and homological algebraic geometry. So these are good reasons. And in my talk, I will first overview the derived category of coherent sheaves very briefly without going into any kind of details. Then I will try to show you some interesting examples of non-commutative varieties and show some of their amazing properties. And I will finish my lecture with by showing you several constructions where homological approach works better than the classical approach. Okay, so we start with derived category. This part, I would like to start with a brief history of the subject. I should say that it is very incomplete, and there are much more steps, of course, and much more. There are plenty of important results in between that I will not mention, just because I don't have enough time. So I will focus on those which are most relevant for the subject of this talk. So the first step, of course, is Alexander Grothendieck, who devised derived categories for proving duality theorems and for Riemann-Roch. And his student, Jean-Louis Verdier, who developed this notion in the 60s in his PhD thesis. And after that, for a long time, derived categories were only used like a technical tool, and they weren't the object of study by themselves until the pioneering work by Sasha Belinson in the late 70s, who observed that the derived category of a projective space in fact has a very simple and nice structure, and we will discuss his result a bit later. 10 years after that, Mikhail Kapranov found out that other projective varieties have similar structures. Particularly, he proved that about quadrics and Grossmanians. And then in the 90s, Alexei Bondel and Dmitry Orlov, they initiated a full-scale study of derived categories and proved many important results, and they presented their results in the ICM talk in 2002, which was 20 years ago. So probably the story should start, definitely the story should not start with my talk, but it is much earlier in time. Okay, so this is the brief history, and now let me give the definition. So the definition can be said very shortly. So the derived category of
That was fun. See y'all soon.